Imagine, right? Upon hunky down, rise and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Badash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Lakwaka, Daba'ah, Razaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baharatazah, Kawak, Ayah, Bashamayim, Adonanau, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Masalakna, Kabawakina, Kasalakna, Kabawakina, Mala'ah, Dabayana, Bonasai, Ball, Shayna, Mayan, Ra'ai, Ayah, Lakab, Olakwa, Wa'ala, Pars, Awalayim, Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
What was it? Oh, okay. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Sha'ah,
Ayan,
Kalahari,
Mayan,
Mayan, Yaba'ah,
Azari,
Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Baharatazah, Ayathan, Kawak, Bagaka, Al-Yanamon, Shamarka, Tanah, La'ah, Yanamon, Mala'ah, Yashan, Shamar, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Zalka, Al, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashmash, Yakaka, Wayarak, Wayala, Yahweh, Yashmarka, Call, Right, Yashmar, Abdapasha, Yahweh, Yashmar, Wawaka, Mayata, Wa'ai,
Psalms 121 in English. I look at mine eyes unto the hills, from which comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out, and thy coming in. For this time forth, and he forevermore.
Perfect the power. Yahweh. Bashim Yahshua. Bakasha. Dananau. Baka. Ba'ah. Kamakala. Wakamaruwa. Baka. That's hard. Much is the rank. Baka. Hakim. Matthew. Baka. Arakawa. Ma'ala. Garsha. Bashim Yahshua. The water.
The power in the English, Yahweh. Name Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. And name Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Yahweh.
First Israel. Yahweh. Bashim Yahshua. Barak Lanau. Wayashal. Wabiyah. Farid. Barak. Rafa'ah. Agun. Say the name of loved ones once, everyone repeats the name once.
All right, for time's sake, all of Israel. Israelite School UPK. ISUK Minnesota.
All ISUPK.
All of ISUK.
all destroyed of Israel.
All destroyed of Israel.
By Shimi Oshai,
Bashimi Oshai,
Waramah.
Duaramah. Bless Israel. In the English, Lord in the name of Oshai.
Lord in the name of Oshai.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
Bless Hill Shield Protect.
Bless your shield protect.
Love ones.
Love ones.
In the name of
In the
Oshai.
name of Oshai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Elohim.
Alahaya.
Al-Damiyah.
Adamiyah.
Lakah.
Lakat.
Al-Takarash.
Antakarash.
Al-Tashakwa.
Altaswa.
Al. Kehana.
Kayahana.
Al-Yabika.
Awabika.
Yahama.
Yaham.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Imaka.
Alamaka.
Yayama.
Yawyam.
Sawar.
Sawar.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Yatazawa.
Natzawa.
Al-Tazwapanka.
Atazaponka.
Amarwa.
Amara.
Kawa. Wanakidam.
Kayuna. Slide. 7 times.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakidam.
Winakidam.
Mugalia.
Gaudia.
Wala'ad.
La'a.
Yazakar.
Issachar.
Sham.
Sham.
Yasha'al.
Yasha'al.
Haywara.
Aywada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Yatazawa.
Natzawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadu.
Ikat.
Al-Yaka.
Ayata.
Barya.
Varya.
Karafu.
Yakarata.
Alia.
Ali.
Arwam.
Arawam.
Wa.
Wa.
Yashama.
Yashmai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Moab.
Wow.
Bulgaria.
Wakari.
Kabal.
Kabal.
Waimalon.
Wamima.
Waimalat.
Wamilat.
Shah.
For the shot.
Ain.
Ma'an.
Yashabia.
Kashab.
That's a war.
That's a war.
Gam.
Gum.
Ashawar.
Ashur.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayam.
Zarawat.
Zawa.
Banya.
Abanya.
Lawat.
Watts.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashah.
Asha.
Naham.
Naham.
Kamadi.
Kamadi.
Kasiyasara.
Asiasara.
Kayabi.
Hayat.
Manakao.
Wanako.
Kayashma.
Kayashma.
Nashamadwa.
Nashama.
Bayandara.
Ayam Dar.
Wakaza Abba.
Because of Ab.
Wakazabak.
Because of Bak.
Wakatazawa.
Because of Zor.
Manai.
And I.
Ka.
We call.
Nasiya Kamwa.
I say, come.
Shah.
Shah.
Marwa.
Mar.
Naraja.
Narash.
Lanawa.
Now.
Ah. Yawaf.
Nawa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shatamu.
Gauka.
God.
Kash.
Kakash.
Panya.
Fanya.
Raka'at.
Raka'a.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabara.
The Bible.
Yara.
Yara.
Warakalahaba.
Rakala.
Dalahat.
The house.
Aryam.
Party.
Khan.
Khan.
Dardaba.
The Dapper.
Wasiraka.
Wasilat.
Basa.
Basa.
Kafka.
Patka.
Dabalaham.
The Laham.
La'at.
La'a.
Panyaham.
Panya.
Kalawan.
Kalawan.
Wabakashwa.
Babapash.
Shimka.
Shaka.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Wabashwa.
Babash.
Wayaba'awa.
Waba'aw.
Idea.
Ai.
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 Wakapawa.
Wakapara.
Wabadwa.
Waba'aw.
Wadawa.
Wadaw.
Kayata.
Kayat.
Shimka.
Shaka.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Labaka.
Batka.
Al-Yawan.
Ayuan.
Al.
Ah.
Ka.
Ka.
Aharataza.
Arasa. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence.
Be not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Below.
that enemies make a tumult,
Thy enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate
And
thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the head,
lift up the head.
that set the crafty counsel
Taking crafty counsel.
against thy people,
Against thy people.
and consult against thy
And
enemies.
consult against thy people.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come.
let us cut them off from being a
Let's
nation,
cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
Let the name of Israel
may be no more in
may be
remembrance.
no more in remembrance.
But they have consulted together with one
They
consent.
consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They're confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of
The
Edom,
tabernacles of Edom
and Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab.
the Garians,
The Garenes.
Gabal,
Cabal.
and Ammon,
And Ammon.
and
And
Amalek,
Amalek.
the Philistines, the inhabitants of the Tyre,
Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre.
and Shor also joined with
So
them.
also is doing with them.
They have hope in the children
They
of
are
Lot.
the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites,
Doing to them as the Midianites.
as to Sisera, as to Jabin,
As Jabin.
at the brook of Kishon,
The son.
which fares at Endor.
First and Endor.
They became as dung for the earth,
Came as known for the earth.
making nobles like a rib,
Make the nobles like a
and
rare.
like Zeb.
And like Zeb.
Yea,
Yeah.
all the princes as a Bob,
All the princes he
and
bought.
as a moon,
And as a
who
move.
said,
He said,
let's say to ourselves,
let us take for
the
ourselves.
house of God in
The
possession.
house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God.
make it like a
Make
wheel,
them like a wheel.
as it stubborn before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
Slack. Who said,
He said,
let's say to ourselves the house of God in possession.
let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession.
Oh yeah, oh my God,
Oh my God.
make it like a
Make
wheel,
them like a wheel.
as stubborn before the
As
wind,
a stubble before the wind.
as the fire burneth the
As
wood,
fire burnt the wood.
and as the flames set the mountains on
And
fire.
as the flames set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy
To
tempest,
persecute them with thy tempest.
and make them afraid of thy
Make them
storm,
afraid of thy storm.
and fill their faces with
And
shame,
fill their faces with shame.
that they may seek thy
That
name.
they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord.
let them be confounded and troubled
Let it be found in trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to
Let
shame
it be put to shame.
and perish,
Perish.
that men may know that thou,
And men may know that
whose
thou,
name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the
art
earth.
most high over all the earth.
All right, power structure. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
All things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name Yahweh Shai.
And name Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
To evils and curses.
To evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
Speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
Teachers.
The princes.
Princes.
The priests.
Priests.
The Israelite
The
brothers.
Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And school.
To evils and
To
curses.
evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
Shake
The
loose.
treasure of the rich of Israel.
Israel. The rich of Israel.
That refuse to enter its lives. Force the riches into thy sanctuary.
Force the riches into thy sanctuary.
To evils and curses.
To evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And the drug
And the drug dealers.
court system.
Court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned
Planned
Parenthood.
Parenthood.
All the governments of our
All the
enemies.
governments of our enemies.
Everlasting the gods and
And
armies.
the gods and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Church.
Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Scientology.
Child.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Cosmetizers. The gay movement.
Gaming.
Lesbian.
Lesbian.
Spies.
Spies.
Works of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
Nazi space
And
program.
space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airways.
Give access channel.
Cable access channel.
And radio
And the
channel.
radio channel.
Convict the spirit in thy people.
Big spirit in our
That seek to stop
Seek
us.
to stop
And
us.
bring swift destruction
Bring swift
to
destruction.
all the heathen
To all the heathen.
that stand in the way.
Stand in the way.
But try to stop
Try to
us.
stop us.
And broadcast your words
Broadcasting your word.
throughout the planet Earth.
Planet Earth.
Then loose all the
Let us
plagues.
all the plagues.
Cause them to go
Cause
to
them to
and
go
fro.
to and fro.
Through the earth consume
The
them.
earth consumed.
Let the plague shake the house of the
Let
thief
the plague shake the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
Let Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai.
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel.
come down flying
Down
souls,
flying sauce.
and punish all the heathens
Punish all of
that come up against
They
us.
come up against
As
us.
we speak thy words,
As we speak thy word.
cause we know by all
We know by all.
that it is the angels
There's the angels
that have done it.
that have done.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Because we spread to the media.
throughout the whole world.
The whole world.
Cause them to shake out that
Cause
coming.
them to shake it back up.
Name Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai.
thank you always. So be it.
So be it. Sorry.
Sorry. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Glory to y'all.
All right.
It shall be, which means be seated.
Leviticus 23 and 24. 23 and 1. For the life.
23 and
1. All right, Shalom, Israel. We are going to get into Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Every so-called memorial or feast that we get into, so-called high holy day, what's like it, any high holy day or holy convocation, precisely, we get into Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, because that's where you can find each and every celebration that we celebrate of the Lord, all right? I'm not talking about the holidays that the world celebrates, but I'm talking about the 8 that is of the Most High, okay? You can find it all in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, all right? So you go ahead. And we are going to read the entire chapter. Just go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. Waya Debar, Yahweh, Mashah, Lamar, verse 2. Debar, Banya, Yashar, Wamarth, Alaham, Mawadaya, Yahweh. Yahweh, Ashar, Thekarawa, Atham, Makoriah, Kadash, Allah, Ham, Mawaidia. Verse 3, Shashak, Yamayam, Ashia, Malakah, Mamaya, Wam, Ashab, Yaya, Shabbath, Shabbath, Wan, Aquara, Godash, Kal, Malakah, La, Ayashar, Shabbath, Awa, Layawa, Bakal, Moshab, the Yakam, verse 4, Allah, Mawadia, Yahweh, Aquaria, Godash, Ashar, Kawawa, Adam, Mawadia, verse 5, Bakorash, Bakodash, Arasha 1, Barab, Ayah, Aishar, Lakadash, Bayan, Arabian, Pasak,
Passover.
La Yahweh, verse 6, Wabak, Masha, Ashar, Yawam, Lakodash, Azah, Kag. I've never heard that word before. I've never heard that word before. Kag. I'm to Zawath, La Yahweh, Shabbat.
You said cog, right?
Right.
CHAAG.
No, it's just, well, of course, on here, the Kag, the God.
Cog and God.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think when I did last one for Dash, there was a word that started with that. That was a shape. Yeah. I went over shapes and colors and weather, and it's one of those.
Oh,
Yeah. Kind of.
Yamayam,
That's verse what again? It's like
verse 6.
verse 6. As far as the cog thing.
Right.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Montezawaf, Takalawa, verse 7. Bayawam, Arashawan, Makwara, Kodash, Yahaya, Lakam. Call. Malakah. Abudah. La. Shower. Verse 8. Wakwar. Batam. Asha. Layahawa. Shabayah. Yamayam. Bayawam. Asha. Yaya. Makwara. Wadash. Call. Malakah. Agora. La. Dayashawa. Verse 9. Mayad. Bar. Yahweh. Al. Mashah. Lamar. Verse 10. Dabar. Al. Banya. Yasharal. Morath. Alam. Kaya. Dabawa. Al. Harataza. Hashah. Anya. Nathan. Lakam. Wakotazar. Da'am. Ah. Kortaziara. Wab. Adam. Ah. Aymar. Rashiyat. What Taziyah are come. Oh. Akawan. Akam. Verse 11. One ya. Ah. Aymar. Lapanya. Yahweh. Larataza. Nakam. Mamakarath. Ashabath. Yania Panawa. Akan. Verse 12. Washiyata. Bayawam. Ayakab. Anyapakam. Ah. Ayamar. Kabash. Damayam. An. Shanatawa. Laila. Layahawa. Verse 13.
You ain't fine. You gonna turn so fast. Good man. Don't sound impressed.
Mamana Katwa. Shania. Someone's got a tongue twister a little bit.
Yeah, cause nah, but I can see you do that shit in your sleep. Shit.
Ashar. Nayam. Salah. Balawa La'ah. Bashaman. Rasha. Layahawa. Rayak. Nayakka. Onas Ka. Yayan. Rabayai, Rabayat, Hayak, verse 14. Walakam, Wakoya, Bakar, Mahal, La, Akabawa, I Tazam, Bewam, Azar, Abiya, Akam, Barban, Alayakam, Kaf, Awalam, Ladar, Dayakam, Bakal, Mashab, Dayakam, verse 15. Was a part Akam, Momakara, Ashabak, Shayawam, Bayakam, Amar, Atan, Wapa, Shabai, Shabbat what? Yai Mat, Tayayana, verse 16. I, Noakara, Shabbat, Asher Yai, that's a power, Mushroom, the one, Bakwar, Batam, Manaka, Kadasha, Layahawa, verse 17. One more, Washab, Dayakam, the Biya, Awam, Yawak, the Kam, and the Wapa, Shatayam, Shanya, Asharanayam, Salah, Dayayana, Kamantaza, Dapayana, Bakawariam, Layahawa, verse 18. Bakwa,
Hey, for those that are watching us now, tuning in, just know that we are going over the entire chapter of Leviticus 23, all right? Okay, so then after this, we are going to get into the English version. For those that do not understand the Hebrew, we will begin to the English portion soon enough, but it's very important that you focus on, Lashwan Kodash, which is every Friday, all right, to understand what the brother is reading, which is our native tongue, all right? So, like, I'm going to continue.
Wakwa, Batam, Alakam, Shabai, Kabashiyam, Dayamayam, Banya, Shana, Bakar, Ban, Bakwar, Akaf, Ayalam, Anayam, Yayawa, Allah, La Yahweh, Lamagna, Taam, Wanasakai, Kayam, Asha, Raya, Nayaka, La Yahweh, verse 19. Yatam, Jayar, as a young, Akkad, Lakapa, Oshanya, Kabashiyam, Banya, Shani, Shana, Lazabak, Shalamiam, verse 20. Wanaya, Akan, Adam, Aya, Lakam, Abakar, Yam, Danawapa, Lapanya, Yahweh, Shanya, Kabashi, Korporash, Yahweh, Yahweh, La Yahweh, Lakan,
You said Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Oh yeah.
It's like Yahweh.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. No, yeah, I wrote that too. Yeah, it is a tongue twister.
Layawa, Lakan, verse 21. Waparatham, Baitazam, Ayawam, Azab, Makwara, Kwadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Gal, Malakah, Ibara, La, Dayashawa, the Quaf, Iwalam, Bakal, Mawashab, Dayakam, Ladara, Yakam, 22. Wabakota, Wabako, Rata, Kutaza, Rakam, Quatazayar, Arata to Zakam, La, the Kala, Shadak, the Quatazar, Rak, Walla, Quas, Quatazaya, Zayarak, La, the Laquas, Lania, Wabagar, Diazal, Adam, Anya, Yahweh, Abba Yakam, verse 23. Wayad Bar, Yahweh, Masha'ah, Lamar, verse 24. Gabar, Banya, Yasharal, Lamar, Kadash, Ashabiyah, Bakar, Lakadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Shabbat 1, Zechariah 1, Darwai, Maquara, Kadash, 25, Kal, Malakat, Da'at, La, Dashawa, Wakwab, Bakan, Ashah, Layahawa, verse 26. Oyadabar, Yahawa, Masha'ah, Lahamar, verse 27. Bak, Shawar, Lakadash, Ashab, Yayay, Azab, Yawam, Akapari, Hawa, Maquara, Wadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Wan, Yatam, Nashapak, Yakam, Wakorab, Dam, Ashab, Layahawa, verse 28. Akal, Malakah, La, Layashawa, Bayam, Ayawam, Azah, Aya, Yawam, Kapariam, Awa, Lakapar, Alayakam, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alayakam, verse 29. Kaya, Kal, Anapash, Ashar, Diana, Bayatazam, Hayawam, Azar, Wanakar, Da'a, Marmiyah, verse 30. Wakar, Anapash, Ashar, Dayasha, Kal, Malakah, Mayatazam, Hayawam, Azar, Wabadathia, Anapash, Hahawa, Makawar, Ima, verse 31. Kal, Malakah, La, Daishawa, Kakwaf, Iwalam, Ladarathia come, Bakal, Mashah, Dayakum, verse 32. Shabbat. Shabbat, Batwan, Awa, Lakam. Wan Yatam. Abashat Yakam. Batash Ayah. Lakadash. Bayrab. Mayrab. Irab. The Shab Dawa. Shabbat come. Verse 33. Wayadabar. Yahweh. Mashah. Lamar. Verse 34. Damar. Banya. Yesharal. Lamar. Bakashwa. Ashar. Yawam. Lakadash. Ashab Yaya. Azah. Kab. Asakawah. Shabayat. Yamayam. Layahawa. Verse 35. Bayawam. Chawan. Makwara. Kadash. Kal. Malakat. Ibadah. La. Dayshawa. 36. Shabbat. Yamayam. They call your bawa. Shah. La Yahawa. Bayawam. Yanya. Makwara. Kadash. Yahaya. Lakam. Makwar Badam. Shah. La Yahawa. Aitazorah. Awa. Kal. Malakath. Arborah. La. Daishawa. Verse 37. Allah. Moidia. Yahweh. Ashar. Dakawara. Atham. Aquaria. Kadash. Laquarial. Ashah. La Yahweh. Allah. Manaka. Zabak. Wanas Kayam. Dabar. Yawam. Bayawa. Mawa. Verse 38. Malabar. Shabbatat. Yahweh. Mawar. Labah. Matanawa. Dayakam. Malawabad. Kal. Nadaria Kam. Umal Bad. Call. Nadab. Nadab. They come. Ashar. Tatanawa. Layahawa. Verse 39. Ak. Become Sha'ah. Ashar. Yawam. Lakadash. Ashab. Yaya. Basa. Supacum. Af. The Bawaf. Harataza. The Kagwa. Af. Kag. Yahweh. Shabbat. Yamayam. Yamayam. Bayawam. Awashawan. Shabbat one. Bayawam. Ashamayam. Yanya. Shabbat one. Verse 40. Alaquak Da'am. Lakam. Bayawam. Harashawan. Horaya. Aitaza. Idar. Kapath. Thamariam. Orana. Aitaza. Abath. Arabia. Nakal. Washamak Da'am. Apanya. Yahweh. Alayakam. Jabai. Yamayah. Yam. Verse 41. Okag Da'am. Atwa. Kag. Layahawa. Shabbat. Yamayam. Bashana. Kakwaf. Iwalam. Ladarth. Yakam. Bakadash. Ashab. Yaya. Kagawa. Atawa. Verse 42. Basakah. That's a bower. Shabbat. Yamayam. Kal. Hazara. Bayashar. Yashabawa. Basakah. 43. Lamayam. Yadayawa. Daratia Kam. Kaya. Basakwa. Awashab Daya. Banya. Yesharal. Bawataza Yaya. Awatham. Maurataza.
One more place, right?
Right. Matazah, Rayon, Anya, Yahweh, Allah Yakam, verse 44. Where the bar, Asha, My Daya, Yahweh, Banya, Yasharal.
Hey, you got. Hey, once again, it's Lucky. You know, I'm gonna clap it up one more time for the brother. You know, second priest, Officer Tarab, 5,000. And yes, ladies out there, he is a 5,000 high-ranking man. You want to check him out anytime that you can. But yeah, that was very, very, very beautiful, man. The fact that you know, Officer Tarab was able to read, you know, in the Hebrew with no pauses, no skips, and things of that sort. He read it very flawlessly. All right, and that just comes with practice. Once you practice more and more into the Hebrew, it starts to become second nature to you. Just like any language that you learn, the more that you study and you know you attack it, the more it becomes you know in tune with you. All right, you start to develop a nature for it to the point where you just know how to just do it like second nature, pretty much. All right, and that's why once again, that's why in Minnesota or all over the place we do Lashman Fadash. Some brothers got a gift for it. Some brothers got gifts for other things. All right, but we all teach certain things in every city. Okay, everybody got their own talents and got their gifts. And that brother right there, he has a gift when it comes to reading and doing the actual Hebrew as well. All right, and it comes with practice. A lot of people say that you know practice. You know, I mean, you know. In order to perfect something, you have to have practice with it. All right, practice makes perfect is what most people say, and that's a pretty true statement as far as you know making something more solid and perfecting your craft or something that you're trying to perfect in general. All right, whatever that may be, and the Bible does speak about whatever that you are trying to do. You stretch forth your hand and you put all your might into it. If you're trying to become, you know, a doctor, you want to put all the time, the work, the effort to become a doctor. If you are trying to become a musician, a teacher, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean, in the eyes of the Lord, that's lawful. Put your hand forward towards it. Really get what you want out of life. All right. If you want someone that, you know, you want to be a master at the Bible as far as, you know, cutting people, being a scholar at this Bible, teaching history, all those things, you have to really put in the time and the work, the labor, in order to show yourself approved of that thing that you are trying to do. Okay? This does not come easy. Everything requires time. Everything does. Patience, studying, things of that sort. Whatever you're trying to do, you know, there are certain tools that you will need in order to complete that task that you are trying to complete, that mission. All right. So very soon we are going to get into Leviticus 23, chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. And we are going to get a few precepts. All right. We are not, you know, this is not going to be too long of a class. Okay. Because we are going to briefly speak about what the memorial of blowing the trumpets is all about. Okay, and why we celebrate it today. And we mentioned this a little bit when we had Sabbath service last week on Saturday. So this is very, very much important. You want to stay in tune and you want to pay attention and take some notes. Any scripture that we pull out, you want to make sure that you jot it down in your notebook. Anytime that you're watching class, make sure that you are taking notes. If you're not taking notes, you are going to be lost. See what I'm saying? In the future, when this comes up again, you won't know what is being taught and what is being said. Always take notes. To this day, Anytime Tarap teaches, or the camp leader Kudas Sayan when he teaches, or anytime when the brother officer Mungabar teaches, or the officer Kanagabar teaches, I still take notes. You wanna know why? Because all those scriptures and the teachings are very much relevant. Now, let's say that I've already heard the breakdown 10 times already. It may be something that they said or broke it down to a certain way to where it might remind me of a precept or another precept to add to the very first precept they just brought out. I always take notes, no matter who is teaching.
Right.
If you are 50 and I'm a 5,000, or I'm a 1,000, and this brother is a captain, I always take notes. It's very beneficial to do so. All right, and it's very very beneficial. You feel me? Even at camp, a lot of brothers don't see me doing this because they're focused on their teaching and the reading. Behind the camp, when I'm behind the camp or behind the camera, I take notes. I have my phone out. I'm on Shamar still a little bit, and I still have my phone out, and I take notes based on the precepts that they brought out because it's very relevant and it's very important. You feel me? All right. So right. Just to let that be known real quick before we get started. You want to say something? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, no sweat. All right. So let's go ahead and get so yeah. We already 58 minutes in, so we are over here. Okay. Yep. So all right, we are going to read into the English, and we are going to get precepts, and move on from there. All right. You may begin.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 23. Mm-hmm. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets.
Right, and this is what we are doing today. We are doing a Sabbath. Usually Sabbath, is on Sabbath service day, right? But of course, the memorial is a Sabbath, right? So if you think about Sabbath service, it's technically a memorial. Right. So this is not necessarily a feast day, but we still eat on this day. And the reason why we eat is because of celebration of this day.
Right.
Okay. Right. So this is not classified as a feast, but we still eat on this day.
Right.
For example, Day of Atonement is coming up on the 15th. We eat before and we eat right after because you are fasting from food and water for 24 hours. Also, too, not just that, you're fasting from every goddamn thing.
Right.
All right. Also, too, it's very wise that you do not give yourself over to pleasure on the Day of Atonement, because usually when you get done having, intercourse, you are going to be hungry and thirsty. I don't know about y'all, but usually you will, you want a sandwich. You want a sandwich, you want a goddamn water, you want something, goddamn. Right. You know what I mean? Because you just worked out for, however long you worked out for, right? And you got to have something to quench your thirst. Right. All right. You got to have something in your stomach. So,
good. It makes you hungry to bring out the beast in you.
There you go.
It brings out the carnality.
Salaki. God, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Salaki, yeah. Good night. Yeah, hey, your ass will be hungry. You're going to be thirsty, you're going to be hungry, you want something, you know what I mean, afterwards, all right? So, but anyway, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be very careful. Some people work and slave. I'll tell you one thing. My first Day of Atonement, I slaved. It was the worst thing in the world to me because I was slaving at a fast food restaurant for one. And two, once the sun went down and I was able to eat, I checked my phone, like, all right, it's technically sundown. Let's do it. Let's eat. Let's drink some water. I threw everything up because I ate so fast because I was terribly hungry. I feel like I haven't ate for days, but it's only just 24 hours. But man, I mastered it as of lately. Over the years, I've mastered how to, conduct myself and how to, prepare myself for the Day of Atonement. All right. Once again, no sex. Don't overeat. You want to eat a decent sized meal.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want to overeat. You don't want to overdrink. I would say do not have alcohol for a couple of days, because alcohol, they say, based on how you drink, it can take about 80 or more hours to get out of your system fully. And alcohol does dehydrate your body. So that's why you're supposed to drink more water than you drink anything else. All right. Otherwise, I'll say water and coconut water. Water and coconut water is very and it will hydrate your body a lot. Coconut water is amazing to me, by the way. All right. It will hydrate you pretty fast. Go ahead.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
You want to eat watermelon, things like cantaloupe, honeydew,
cucumbers.
Right.
Yeah. Celery.
Cherries, grapes.
Yes. Yeah.
If I could. One of the things you don't want to do is think, okay, well, Day of Atonement is coming. So I'm gonna eat, a big meal. Make sure I eat enough to last me throughout the atonement. That's the wrong thing to do. Because what happens is you eat a huge meal like that, and it's like, what happens is, your stomach is used to that huge meal. So now you'll get hungry faster when you're in the atonement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get, spend a week and just eating and, gorging and everything, because your stomach will start to expand. Your stomach expands and it, and it adjusts and everything. Like, that's why it's good to be like, as far as with diets and stuff like that, to start eating less, you know what I'm saying? So that your stomach adjusts to that lesser amount of food, and then you'll start to lose weight that way, but, you don't want to, expand your stomach. You don't want to do that and then go into the feast of the Day of Atonement. That's one thing you don't want to do, because you're going to get hungry faster. If anything, you want to start eating a little smaller meal so your stomach can adjust to that. So now you would have now you'll be able to go those 24 hours. It won't be so rough and hard.
There you go, exactly. And I mean, that's the smartest thing to do. But I mean, if you decide to overdo it, it's on you. But anyway, it's like we'll talk more about the Day of Atonement when the time comes. All right. In the meantime, as far as memorial going to the trumpets, let's keep going. So can you start from 23 again?
Correct.
Leviticus
23, chapter 23 and verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Verse 25.
Right, and this is the holy convocation, which is the Sabbath. Every time you see a Sabbath, there's a holy convocation. So on our chart that we have, there are 8 high holy days / holy convocations, all right? If you want to be more specific, we can talk about which one is high holy days and which ones are holy convocations. But what I pretty much can tell you, anytime there's a Sabbath besides the actual Sabbath day, it is a holy convocation. The rest are high holy days, all right? But we can get more into that in the future, just to break it apart, so there's no confusion for brothers and sisters in your own city, or also in other cities as well, all right? Because other high holy days is taught as a class, all right? Sabbath, holy convocations is taught as a Sabbath. There's a class portion to it, but you got to read into the Hebrew. There's other requirements for it. Okay, so it's not a class. A Sabbath is separated from an actual class. So, for example, a brotherhood, a history class, or what's the other one? No. Scripture breakdown, law class. All those things are separated from a Sabbath. It's 2 different things. Okay. All right.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey,
you go ahead.
Yeah. Trumpets is always used, throughout the scriptures for different things.
Mm-hmm.
You had a trumpet for a feast day, a celebration. You also had a trumpet that is used for, to call a war, a warning. trumpet. You know, you have the different. And here's the thing about it. This is how what's so crazy about it. This is why the best trumpeters are black. You know what I'm saying? The best trumpeter, in order for white trumpeters and any other race of trumpeters, they have to learn from black people. You know what I'm saying? You see like Herb Alpert and all of them, they got so good with messing around with black people. And it's awfully funny because they really don't give the black people the credit. They'll hide that fact. But here's how they take our custom of blowing the trumpets and use it against us. Like, say for instance, like down in New Orleans, right? You got all of these trumpet players down there that's accustomed to go down the street, playing the trumpets, stuff like that, right? But think about it. They murder one of ours, and then they say, let's party. So we forget all about that. And we go around blowing the trumpets like we happy. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't blow a happy trumpet when your people is being destroyed. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right after they destroy it. And then here's the thing. They are the ones that are leading you blowing the trumpet. And you're leading your celebration. Try this. Let a white man get killed or whatever. And then go out and blow the trumpet. See how that play out for you. You know what I'm saying? Let some white man get killed and you go down the same street. You're going to be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Or they might mess around and kill you right along with him. Something like that. But when yours die, they want you to blow. Remember the Psalms 137. Yeah. That's the perfect scripture to go right along with that. We shouldn't even be blowing the trumpets for no dang on heathens. What does the scripture say? To give not the things that benefit thee to another. All of that. Go ahead.
So if I may, I don't want Baruch or Barak. That's how you say. Baruch. Yeah, Baruch. Yeah, Baruch. Yeah, Baruch. Should they said? The brother said, "Don't give your honor to another people as far as strangers." Right. And that is an apocrypha. Well, actually, it does say, "Give not thy honor to a stranger." Right. You got to understand who are the strangers. It's not talking about your own people. It's talking about the people that's not your people. That's outside of your land. Right. Outside of your nation. It's like it.
And it said the ones, the things that benefit thee, give not to another nation.
There you go.
Then it gets specific of who that stranger is talking about. Any other people that's not an Israelite.
That's right. It ain't sugar coated.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to go. Is that down there?
Verse 25. Yeah, it's down on 24.
Okay. Yeah.
25. We do got 25.
Oh yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Now, of course, the times have changed. You know what I'm saying? How we used to live our life back in the day, as far, over 2,000 years ago, it's not the same today in 2021. Right. Now, the servile work, there was a time it's still kind of in effect right now.
Well, the thing about it, if we did servile work back then, we wasn't doing it for another nation.
Right, we doing it for.
We would do it for if you was in servitude to somebody. Right. You would, if you work for them, it would be another Israelite you'd be working for.
Yeah.
So you had off that day. Yeah. And so did he. Right. And that's what they know servile work, but we up under people that don't honor anything in the scripture, whom the Most High plans on going to war with.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's no servile work. Like, you are not supposed to work as far as servile work. Now today, like, we are in captivity, right? We are in hell, so it's different, right? And also too, when it talks about the sacrifice, now of course we don't sacrifice animals for the Most High, but the sacrifice today is you. You are the sacrifice, right? All right. So you come into the to the memorial. You come into the feast. Taking off of slavery for Esau, if possible. You doing whatever you have to do just to get here is a sacrifice. Because a lot of people will make excuses on not to do what they are supposed to do according to the Most High. Right. All right. You feel me? And also too, Day of Atonement is definitely a sacrifice. which is coming up. Because right now it's the 6th. Yeah, it should be here by what, next week?
Atonement?
Yeah, atonement.
Right.
Yeah, on the 15th. Yeah, it should be here by next week. But yeah, like the fact that you do whatever you can to make it to the feast or to the memorials or Sabbath service or to class, that's a sacrifice.
Right.
It's not the actual animal, it's you. But you're not dead. You're just sacrificing everything else and you're putting this first. That's a sacrifice. Go ahead.
And that's what every sacrifice in the scripture was about.
There you go.
It was about the animal, really.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It was about you. And if you sacrificed an animal, you sacrificed your best stuff, and that was your money.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was, you sacrificed your best stuff. That was your money right there. So, but ultimately the sacrifice is you, just like the circumcision. The circumcision really wasn't supposed to be about your rod. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The circumcision is about your heart, but it was put just as an outward, display of, of that. But of course, that didn't actually mean your heart was circumcised just because you were circumcised in the rod. You were just keeping tradition and customs. You had some of the most wicked men that were circumcised in their rod, But the circumcision was about your heart, which is way stronger. That's what the Apostle Paul had to keep breaking down. He had to keep reiterating that, to the Jews. Because they would run around with circumcised penises, but hearts were not circumcised.
There you go. Right. Absolutely. And also, too, like that takes me back to the baptism. Water was not cleaning us from our sins. It was not changing us at all. But the baptism by fire, is it talking about a little fire? No, it's talking about the thing that stings the most. When you get checked and chastised, that doesn't feel good.
Right.
But if you are a man and woman that's willing to change, you would take it. See what I'm saying? And it will burn.
Yes.
You will suffer. You will, like you will feel something. You know what I mean? Meaning like, you should not be emotional about getting a check-in and things of that sort. But it's a humbling thing, a humbling experience to really experience that, damn, I'm getting told that I'm wrong when you always feel like you're right.
Right.
But somebody gotta correct you. Somebody gotta show you that you are not always right. And no sweat. No one's there to bully you. No one's there to try to, degrade you. We are here in the UPK to help you. Right. And if nobody gave a damn, no one would say anything. Right. But if someone does say something, they love and they care about you. They do give a damn.
Right.
And that's what has to be realized when you get checked and chastised.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, either you can go through the fire or you can run from the fire.
There you go.
Pissed off at the fire.
There you go.
What I'm saying? Those are kind of your options, but it's best to go through that fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You go through that fire so you can come out as pure gold on the other end. Anything that's, how to say, pressure breaks pipes. Pressure also makes diamonds too. You know what I'm saying? You can be a broken pipe, but you can come out as a diamond.
Yeah, right.
One of the two. I mean, there's nothing in life that's of any value that's easy to get. Right. It's like that in the world. And it's like that in the truth. Nothing of value, anything that is of value is going to, you're going to play hell to get it and you're going to play hell to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Even people that inherit wealth, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the wealth that was given to them, but here goes the fight. Now you got to keep it. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the good things that you was taught. You have to keep those and hold on to them.
Right.
The star running back, he got to hold on to that ball. Regardless, he didn't got hit on his damn hips. You know what I'm saying? He didn't got, niggas was dragging on his legs. Niggas was jumping on his damn. He got to hold on to that damn ball, even with all, 2,000 pounds of niggas on his back. You know what I'm saying? He got to hold on to that ball. You got to hold on to this truth. You got to go through that fire.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go through that fire.
That's right.
But the halfback breaking through the line, think that's easy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not easy at all. Especially doing it, over time. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some serious wear and tear, on that body and everything. But at the same time, when you get that Heisman, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of.
You get that Heisman at the end of all of that, and in college you get that Heisman sheet, figure it was all worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing in the truth. You go through that fire and you come out as the gold. And then you used to look back and you're like, man, it was worth it.
Right.
And that strength that you had can inspire others that would have otherwise maybe fell out of the truth.
That's right.
You show them that pot of gold, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the end of the rainbow, they're like, damn, this is worth it. You know what I'm saying? I was just ready to quit, but now I see that, I'm keeping on going.
Right. And that's very much on point. You know what I mean? That's the thing that you got to understand is that when it comes to this job, everything is very serious. Everything's professional. This job is cutthroat. This job is not for everybody. Okay, this job is not for everybody, and a lot of people will finally understand that and start to see that. Damn, do I really belong here? Okay. Right. Also, too, and this is also very important why we're talking about this, because Memorial blowing the trumpets, it's really about being a watchman, being a leader. All right. How the hell can you be a leader and be a watchman when you cannot, secure or watch over the things that you are doing in your life?
Right.
And that's a very good lesson, a very good thing to comprehend, to really consider and think about all the time. And we are going to get into that. Let's not keep going. I mean, keep talking. You got that?
What is
that on that?
Yeah, that's it.
John 10 and 16. I'll let you look that up. You got that. And I just got the Watchmen scriptures, all right? It's very ironic that everything that we get into as far as the scriptures, it goes back to how Israel should be as a people. There's no guessing. There's no what ifs and buts about it. It tells you how you should be as a man and woman of the Most High, as a child of the Most High. If you ain't doing what the Most High is telling you to do, you are a bastard. That's what you are. Everybody has to be accountable for your actions. Everybody has to be brought to justice if there is injustice. That's how it goes.
Right.
And in America, we are taught to where that doesn't matter unless it's being done towards the oppressor. The oppressor, he gets justice when he receives injustice, but you don't receive any goddamn thing.
Right.
If this, I would love to make this class a lot longer, but we don't have too much of the time. But just understand this simple thing. We have to be the ones to step up so that way we can take over the earth. And It is very much possible. If there can be a nation that can take over this earth that's unruly, we can take over the earth too. And it can be a glorious place with authority. You see what I'm saying? A place of righteousness, of peace, and we can all rejoice. And we can finally be at ease and not worry about what's going on today. There won't be no such thing as COVID if we rule the earth as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. There will be no such thing as crime, whether it's between us or anybody else. There won't be no such thing as, sex trafficking when Yahushua is ruling this earth and we are ruling underneath him. There's no such thing because everything is order and everything is pretty much is in decency and order. Everything is in place how the Most High intended it to be from the beginning. But we have to follow suit and we got to get on his page. Okay? Oh, okay, go on.
You want to go to John?
Yeah. John 10 and 16.
John chapter 10 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And the other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. If I could, now, Christians take this scripture right here and say, see, look, it said the other races that are not of this fold, other people that are not of this fold, the fake Israelites, they the same damn way. They just Christians, with bristles on the bottom of their shirts. That what I'm saying? It's the only difference really, and they claim Israel, but in reality they're just as Christian as as a Mormon or as a a Catholic or any of that. They actually imposters, Hebrew imposters. But what is this talking about here? This is talking about, man, you got to think. Who was Christ rolling with? And who was he talking to?
Right.
He's talking to the disciples that were following him. That was the fold that he had at the time.
Right.
And he said others that are not in this fold, you know what I'm saying? Because there were, people that, like say for instance, the Apostle Paul. He would be an example of the ones that are not in this fold because he wasn't following Christ yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was alive, but he wasn't convinced of who Christ is. He was persecuting the Jews.
That's right.
That were following Christ.
That's right.
He was persecuting them. So, but then he had his, wake up moment. And next thing you know, he ended up becoming a super powerful dude in the truth. Christ was talking about people like him too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's manifold because, it's also talking about the 10 tribes too, because they were not in that fold. They were not even in Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the Hebrews that were scattered all out throughout Europe. They were in Greece. They were in Spain. Actually, the Apostle Paul was from Spain himself. He was born in Spain.
That's right. Yeah.
Tarsus is southern Spain. He was born there, and he was a Roman citizen, not a citizen of Jerusalem, but he was a Jew. At the same time, by blood. But that Apostle Paul would be a shining example of that. Because he was not in the fold with the disciples. He came later on. Let's see.
Is that on there?
Let's see. No, that's not it.
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold. Didn't the Apostle Paul hear Christ's voice? Yes.
Right.
He heard Christ's voice.
That's right.
And then you too, you had the disciple that Barnabas, who was not of the fold either.
Yeah.
At this time, because Barnabas came later on to replace Judas Iscariot and to take his seat.
That's right. Yeah.
He's also one that was not with Christ's fold.
There you go. I want to say John the Baptist. I think that's
no. John the Baptist came before Christ.
Yeah, before Christ. He was the older cousin, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Cornelius will be another one.
There you go. Demas.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Timothy.
Oh yeah, Timothy. Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark. Yeah.
No, Mark. No, it's like him. Mark was during the time of Christ. He was a scribe, just like Luke.
Right.
John.
John was. Yeah.
And Matthew. Matthew rode with Christ.
Yeah. Wait. Mark.
Mark had left, but then he came back.
He came back,
and he rode with Barnabas.
There you go. That's what I meant. Okay, there you go. Yeah, kind of.
So those are men that were already in the fold, but then you have people like Timothy and Titus who were not.
You know
what I'm saying? And all of the people that Herodias, which was he was some kin to the Apostle Paul.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and then and several others. These were the ones that were not in the fold,
right,
with Christ.
I mean, they was around, but they wasn't in the fold.
No, they wasn't in the fold. Yeah.
In the fold mean like they wasn't in the crew. They wasn't with them.
Right.
You know,
just like say for instance, if you're a literal farmer, you're a sheep herder. But then you in the practice of buying sheep. Say you got 12, 13 sheep right now.
Mm-hmm.
So your responsibility is to take care of those 12, 12, 13 sheep or whatever that you got. That small little flock. But then you know that other flocks you're gonna buy other sheep to add with that flock to make your herds and stuff bigger. You know what I'm saying? And the sheep that you got is gonna have baby sheep. They're gonna have lambs. You know what I'm saying? So you setting everything up nice for them who is getting ready to come into the sheepfold. You making sure you got enough land. You making sure you got enough provender for them to things for them to eat. You know what I'm saying? You making sure everything is good. For the ones that will be added unto the fold.
Right.
That's what Christ is talking about here. You know what I'm saying? With men, and women. You know what I'm saying? You have Priscilla and Aquila. You know what I'm saying? The husband and wife. They was with the fold, but now they're coming into the fold after Christ ascended.
Yeah, kind of. Is that on that?
Oh, that's it on that.
Okay, so now we are going to grab two more. And then we're done. Okay. First one, Ezekiel 3:17. Right. Also, too, a lot of things that Officer Tarap is saying is actually going to go into the next two scriptures that we are actually about to get right now, which are both in Ezekiel. So Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17 is the next one that we're going to. You got it?
I got it.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Mm-hmm. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
And also, too, we are in the book of Ezekiel with Sabbath service. We already, went over the third chapter already, but we are going to go over this scripture specifically right now. Read it one more time, Baba Shaw.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Now you got to ask yourself, what is a watchman and who are the house of Israel? Okay. A watchman is someone that is pretty much shamar. Shamar meaning that is security that watches over the people. All right.
Right.
What?
And you have to foresee dangers that's coming.
That's the whole purpose. There you go.
Right. Just like the shepherd has to see the wolf. He has to understand and know the wolf. You know what I'm saying? He knows the nature of wolves, what their sneaky attacks are. You know what I'm saying? He, just like he's, looking after the sheep to protect them. If you have an enemy, it's real good to know them. You know what I'm saying? So now to set up, things in play to keep them safe.
Right.
Have them all following you. You got that shepherd's weapon, you know what I'm saying? It's a staff or whatever the case is. And then you're thinking, real intelligently when it comes to protecting and defending them. Nowadays, you got a sheepdog out there, you know what I'm saying? And then you also, you understanding what you have protecting the flock and everything too. You got the sheepdog at one end, but nowadays they got sheep donkeys. You know what I'm saying? Donkeys that'll give a wolf an ass beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They buying up getting donkeys and stuff now. You thinking of different ways to protect them. The donkey don't kill the wolf, but he damn sure backs him the hell off and gets him up through there, and that he can't come and just pick off the sheep. Now this is the intelligent thinking of the man that's a shepherd. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He understands something about war and defending stuff. So that's why. But he understands also too that donkeys and dogs do not get along. You know what I'm saying? So what he'll do is have the donkeys at one end and have the dogs at another end. And it's a flock grow, you know what I'm saying? Using each one, keeping them separate from each other, but using each one for the things that they're good at, because donkeys will beat up dogs too. Just like donkeys hate anything in the dog family. Whether it's a dog, a poodle, a wolf, coyote, whatever the hell the case is. I don't know what that's about. They got a serious hatred for anything that's in the dog family. Mm-hmm. So the shepherd knows to have the dogs over here, have the donkeys over here. You know what I'm saying? And all of them is actually aiding towards protecting. And this is the mind of the shepherd, because a lot of the times the shepherd's not going to be able to handle one wolf coming from this way and one wolf coming from that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what does he do? He sets out other shepherds also to go along with this, to protect the flocks or flock is not getting picked off. You know what I'm saying? But the Christian pastor is supposed to do that, but the Christian pastor is a wolf.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a wolf. You know, that's where the term wolf in sheep's clothing, you know, right. But at the same time now, you know, being the fact that the truth is out now he's a wolf in wolf's clothing, because that gay suit that he wears, you know what I'm saying, that is now looked at as the clothes of a homosexual, a money grubbing scam artist, a child molester, you know, an adulterer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All of that stuff is you know, some type of con man. All of that stuff is being associated with a suit now. Yes, a thief. Yes, a thief. Because that's and in the future, niggas ain't gonna want to wear no suits.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be attached to too much bad stuff. Every damn scam artist got a suit on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, every Christian pastor who's screwing your wife has a suit on. Mm-hmm. You know, every Wall Street scammer embezzler wears his suit. Mm-hmm. You know, every Al Capone type of gangster wears a suit. So I don't see how the hell even nowadays a suit is associated with something good. Mm. I don't get it. Mm. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's just associated with, we think God's in heaven with a big suit on. You know, that's what we think. We think God's up there with a suit and tie, because the Christian church will tell you that this is the clothing of God. This is what God's doing nowadays. Oh, really? So Most High sitting on his throne like that? Okay. I think not.
Right. Right, absolutely. Come.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very much on point now. Absolutely. And you know what? So like, it will come a point in time where people are not okay. How people associate themselves with the things that us in UPK, we see that is wrong. There's going to come a point in time to where they're going to be like, nah, that's not it. You know what I mean? Right. And then the attention is going to be reversed and turned to us in a good way versus a bad way.
Right, exactly. They're gonna realize, you know what I'm saying, that we was actually the sheep in wolf's clothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then so now at that time the sheep is gonna be looking like the sheep in the perception of everybody. We're gonna be the sheep in sheep's clothing. Mm-hmm. Because the clothing was formerly looked at as wolf clothing, you find out that that's actually sheep clothing. Mm-hmm. And that Christian pastor, you know, who's a wolf in sheep's clothing, now his clothes is going to represent who the hell he is. That's going to be associated with homosexuality. Every damn thing. That suit and tie is going to be associated with every damn thing that's evil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be looked at as one of the worst clothes on the earth. You know, right next to the skinny jeans.
Good night. Please.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't start that conversation.
Yeah, and they're making suits even gayer and gayer now.
They are tighter and tighter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With a capri on and a damn, you know what I'm saying? You pair of capris on and a damn suit jacket and stuff like that. Just
throw the whole outfit away.
Yeah, exactly. Throw the whole damn outfit, you know, with that gay cologne that they be wearing and stuff like that.
I'm gonna sell that, man.
Yeah, it smell like cat piss.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, homosexuals is making it, so they making the colognes to smell gay.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want to talk about unisex. You know, the hell with that. Not unless it's like frankincense and myrrh or something like that.
Right.
You know, so you put that on a man and a woman. It's going to bring the pheromones of a man out in a man and the pheromones of a female out in her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But they stuff is taking the masculine man and covering up his masculinity. You know what I'm saying? And making him smell feminine, and taking the woman and making her smell masculine. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's a spirit behind everything. There's a spirit behind it. They make it smell like that on purpose, and it's a reason why they pick nothing but gay men to, you know, to put this stuff out there. Right. Just like with clothing, they want every great clothing designer to be gay. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
So if you coming out with clothes in that secular Edomite world, they gonna want you to be gay, and I'll bet you they gonna have to go to bed with you first before you come out with anything.
Yeah, or before they cut that check.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep moving forward. Are you done with verse 17?
The 17.
3 and 17.
Got the second with peace.
You got it.
Therefore, Hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
So of course, Ezekiel was sent out to be a watchman, right? He was sent out to be a watchman for the house of Israel, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But he was also, I mean, of course, when you are a watchman, your purpose is to give out warnings. For example, when we have this right here, our horn, when we blow it, you are blowing it to give out warning. And we are going to show another example of that if you want to explain it a little bit more, what the whole purpose of that is.
Yes, also to give people warning, to let them know that war's coming, to, so they get themselves prepared. And it's also done for times of feast and joy. It's a different type of sound that the horn will make. And I think it's deeply, rooted in the spirit of the person that's blowing it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because people know the difference.
Right.
I don't think it's different types of trumpets for everything. Do you know?
As far as I know, but also too, for example, we was just at Hebrew Academy Sunday, and we heard a loud noise. You have clocks, you have horns, right? You know what I'm saying? You have alarms. All those things are similar to let you know, based on how it sounds or the noise that it makes, to let you know what is going on. You have alarms for hurricanes, weather, natural disasters, tornadoes. You know what I mean? You have horns, alarms, and things of that sort for a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Also too, some people use it for weddings. If you look at the other nations, they, the East Indians, I always see them have horns to celebrate, to show that, all right, when I blow this horn, it's time to start walking down the aisle. Right. It's time to do this, time to do that. You feel me? But within our culture, when we blow the trumpet, it's really for security. It's to let you know we are trying to warn you about something that's going on, whatever that might be.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unless you want to expand more.
Yeah.
You good? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we done with that. Let's get the last one. Ezekiel 33:6. All right. So the whole purpose of that is pretty much just to warn the people. All right. A lot of people may ask, why do we celebrate? Why is that a big thing? You should understand that it's a big thing. Every time that we do a class, we are warning our people. Now, we may not have a trumpet, but the new trumpet is going to be your voice. When you read Isaiah 58:1, see what I'm saying? Cry out loud, spare not. Right. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show Jacob the transgressions. That's what we are doing today. We might not have this at all. We might not have this at all, but we got our voice. That should be loud enough. We scream and yell and shout.
And we have microphones.
We have microphones. Well, the original microphone is going to be your voice.
Right.
All right. That's going to be your voice, and we are going to tell you how it is, and we are coming from the perspective of the Most High to show you we are delivering His word. We are the messengers to give you what He is telling us to tell you. We are the messengers. That's why Ezekiel went to the children of Israel and spoke the things that he spoke to let them know, to warn them what was going to happen if they did not follow the Most High. And that should be understandable because he was not the only prophet to do so.
Right.
So, Jeremiah, who else?
Right. Amos.
Yahushua.
Right. Yeah.
Nehemiah.
Right. Nehemiah.
Habakkuk.
Yeah. Habakkuk.
Jonah.
Yeah. You say Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Right.
Yeah, I think Isaiah and Jeremiah. Peter.
Yeah. Peter.
You know what I mean? It's like James, Moses, James.
Christ's brother.
Yep. There you go. All these people came out as messengers to deliver a message to warn the people what was going to happen if they did not follow the Most High's orders.
Right.
And it's happening today. That's why we are the new messengers.
Right.
We are, Maccabia and Tarab, or Tarab and Maccabia, giving you a message to let you know the importance of memorial blowing of the trumpets.
Right.
We always blow the trumpet. But this is a celebration. This is a day to finally recognize the importance of what this means and why we celebrate the way that we do. You know what I mean? And as you know, today is actually Labor Day. I keep forgetting that it's Labor Day. Instead of celebrating that, we celebrating this because this is more important. Labor Day is actually a slap in the face to Blacks and Hispanics, if you know the history behind it. But that's another class, all right? So you got that? Right. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 6. Mm-hmm. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, it is taken away in his.
He is taken.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand.
And this is a beautiful chapter, by the way. As soon as you hit chapter 30, going towards the 40th chapter, this is actually very interesting, and it's very important that you pay attention because this is very serious. It's everyday life. As soon as you read Ezekiel the 30s, as far as the chapters, it's very, very important because these things happen to this day. So, for example, if you don't warn the people about danger and you see the danger, but you take cover for yourself, the blood is going to be required at your hands.
Right.
The sin falls on you. See what I'm saying? You are accountable. They are not accountable.
Right.
See what I'm saying? If you are the lookout and you don't warn, your peoples, what the hell are you doing?
Right. Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, to think about it, does the Christian pastors warn you? Mm-hmm. He warned you. He say the sword's coming if you don't fill up that collection plate. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing he tell you. He gives you a scary warning about. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. Anything else? No, he ain't warning you about adultery. Mm-hmm. Because he's doing it himself. He's not gonna warn you about that. But he's not gonna. He's not gonna warn your wife if she leave you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hell out there for her. He's not going to do that. He's going to strengthen your wife to leave you.
Right.
He's going to strengthen her. He's going to make her think that God got somebody else for her. Mm. You know what I'm saying? That God's going to bring her a new man. Okay. Instead of, trying to warn her and trying to let her know that she needs to keep her marriage going with her husband. Mm. He's counseling her how to split it up.
Right.
Because they hate when a woman loves her man. The Christian pastors can't stand that because the more she loves her man, the more love goes away from him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't want the man having access to his woman's finances. He wants to have access to your woman's finances.
Right. Right.
Regardless of whether he wants your woman sexually or not. Mm. It don't matter. He wants all the love. He's the love hog. The glutton of love. He wants all the love for himself. And he's not going to warn you about the agendas and plans that Esau has for you. He's not going to do that.
Right.
He will not tell you nothing. He'll let that sword come right upon you, And so that blood is going to be required in his hand.
I agree with you. I absolutely do. Because once again, they are selfish bastards. They don't give a damn. They just want everything for themselves. Also, too, in the book of Timothy, it talks about how people will be lovers of themselves. That's going to be the Christian church. All they care about is the money, their wealth, and their own, livelihood. Right. You know what I'm saying? Their own well-being. That's all they care about. They don't give a damn about anybody else. That's why they don't pay anybody's bills. They don't give correct counsel. They don't go above and beyond to help others within their own community, but they always have something to say, but never give you anything but instruction.
They'll give you criticism, harsh criticism.
There you go.
That's what they'll give you.
Yeah.
And they'll make you feel like what's wrong with the world.
Right.
What's wrong with the earth today. They will tell you that. Mm-hmm. And they'll sit there and and destroy the confidence of a man quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll destroy the black man's confidence and make him think that his sole purpose on the earth is to serve his woman.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very masculine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell can you be? I mean, how can you be masculine when you can't rule your own household? Now, a lot of people talk about toxic masculinity. You feel me? Like, a lot of people even have a wrong perception as far as what that even means.
Right.
You feel me? But at the same time, you being masculine, see what I'm saying? You can rule your household without being toxic about it.
Right.
I mean, there's a scripture that talks about you don't have to be a lion in your household, but damn for sure, you should definitely make sure that things is correct in the household.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You ain't got to be a goddamn monster. You ain't got to be abusive. You ain't got to be, verbally, violent with your words. You can check and chastise and correct your household and make things strictly disciplined and make sure things are in order. But you ain't got to lift a finger. You may got to raise your voice sometimes, maybe. You may got to talk in a lower tone to make sure that things is in order. There's nothing wrong with that. It ain't no sin in it.
But I think what you just said, a lot of sisters really need to hear that.
And that's exactly what I'm talking to. I ain't talking to the men. I'm talking to the sisters.
Right. Because a lot of them just try to get you to talk soft, and watch what they do when you talk soft. It's not going to be just y'all two going to be talking soft together. She going to raise her voice above you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then like if you raise yours above hers, then she going, no, why are you so loud? Why are you so loud? As soon as you quiet down, you got that, because that's a power struggle right there.
Yeah. If I may. You know what I mean? If the man is being emasculated, who's the one that's being masculine?
Right. Her.
It's her. You feel me? Like, it's her. She's the one that's she's the aggressor.
Right.
See what I'm saying? If she's our woman like that in the UPK, it's not like that.
Right.
And if they have traits of that, we correct that right away.
Right.
We get rid of that right away. Because that's not how it goes. All right. See what I'm saying? The marriages in the UPK are very much perfect. And also too, it's good to have a man in the UPK. The reason being is because you being a sister, you having a righteous man, he is going to be the watchman over you and the children and the brothers, everyone.
Right.
And he is going to be the one to direct every decision that you make and show you what to do, what not to do in your life.
Right.
See what I'm saying? No matter what age you are, even children and adults got to be told what to do. That's why we have the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
There are men telling other men what to do based on their life for the betterment of themselves and for the nation as well. Okay? You saw how I tied that back?
Right.
You feel what I mean? Because that's what it is.
Right.
And this is why this memorial blowing the trumpets is very important. This is everyday life, and this is why we celebrate it, for that reason. This is for us, but in celebration of the Most High. And we give the Most High nothing but thanks. And we praise the Most High all the time for what he has done for us. Because you could be dead right now. If you still got lungs in your air, if you still got air in your lungs, all right, you should thank the Most High, because you should be dead right now.
Right.
For all the things that you did against the Most High. All right, so yeah. All right, anything else, or otherwise we good?
Yeah.
All right, with that being said, you want to say imagine.
Imagine. Front like you're done. Rise face the east.
Got it. Yep. You got it. I should get them right here. No, I have some. Right.
Right.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kadash.
Kadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shakah.
Shakah.
Yahweh.
Hawa.
Malakaka.
Malakwatka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
For the Zaka.
Zak.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Asha.
Asha.
Barakasa.
Barakasa.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Shemayim.
Dalanau.
Dalanau.
Come.
Come.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Wom.
Masalat now.
Salak now.
Kawafi now.
Kawafi now.
Kasalat now.
Salak now.
Kawafi now.
Kawafi now.
Wala'ah. Sarayah now.
Taba'ah now.
Banasai one.
Manasai one.
Rabah.
Whoa.
Awashai now.
Ashai now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra'ai.
Ra'ai.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Lakah.
Lakah.
Malakwa.
Malakwa.
Wala'ah.
Wa'ala.
Wala'par.
Watapar.
Sawalayim.
Wa'alami.
Come on.
Come on. Psalms. It's like Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
Our Father.
which art in heaven,
Which art in heaven.
hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
The kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done
Thy will be done.
in earth
In earth.
as it is in heaven.
As it is in
Give us
heaven.
this day
Give us this day.
our daily bread.
Our daily
And
bread.
give to our debts
Give us our
as
debts.
we forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debt.
And lead us not to temptation,
Lead us not into
but
temptation.
deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from
For
evil.
thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the
and
kingdom
the power,
and the
and
power
the glory,
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Kalahari.
Alahari.
Mayan.
Ayan.
Yabah.
Yaba'ah.
Azari.
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 Ain.
Ayan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Asha.
Asha.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Barakasa.
Zaratza.
Al-Yadan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Wat.
Sagalka.
Gog.
Al-Yanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Tanah.
Kana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
La'ah.
Yashan.
Yashan.
Shalomah.
Shalomah.
Yashal.
Sha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Zalka.
Shadalta.
Al.
Ah.
Yeah.
Gad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yamam.
Yamam.
Yashamash.
Yashmash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yataka.
Ka.
Wayaraq.
Iraq.
Yayal.
La'ah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Shamarka.
Call.
Call.
Right.
I.
Yashamar.
Shamar.
Napashka.
Spaska.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Shamar.
Tazaka.
After.
Wahuaka.
Wasa.
Ayata.
Yatha.
Wai.
I.
Iwala.
Psalms 121 in English. I lift up mine eyes
I looked up my eyes
to the hills.
to the hills.
From whence comes my help?
Whence cometh my help?
My help comes from the Lord,
My help comes from the
which
Lord.
made heaven and earth.
Made heaven and earth.
Who will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved?
will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee
He will keep thee.
will not slumber.
When I slumber.
Behold,
Behold.
he that keepeth Israel
He keepeth
shall
Israel.
neither slumber nor
And
sleep.
he slumber nor
The
sleep.
Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is our keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The Lord
hand.
is our shade from thy right
The
hand.
sun shall smite thee by
The sun
day,
shall not smite thee by day.
nor the moon by
And
night.
the moon by night.
The Lord shall reserve thee from all
The
evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall reserve thy
The Lord
soul.
shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall reserve thy going
The
out
Lord shall preserve thy going
and
out.
thy coming
And
in
thy coming in.
from this time
This
forth
time forth.
and he forevermore.
And you forevermore. Prayer for the power, the Hakat in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushua.
Hashem Ashar.
Bakashah.
Shar.
Adana
Young.
now. Adana now.
Talana.
Hakat.
Ka.
Hakat.
Ka.
Rafa'ah.
Afa'a.
Kalmakalah.
Mafala.
Wakal Marawa.
Kamarawa.
Hakat.
Ka.
Latahar.
It's a hard.
Amatazarayim.
Sorry.
Hakat.
Ka.
Lahaki.
Haki.
Lamaki.
Haki.
Hakat.
Ka.
Arafawa.
Arafawa.
Atama'ala.
It's Allah.
The Garshan.
Garshi.
Bashim Yahushua.
Hashem Ashar.
Warama.
Warama. The power. In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name Yahweh Shai.
Name Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all men of
Power
sickness.
to heal all men of
And
sickness.
all men of disease.
And all men of
The
disease.
power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
Cast them out.
Name Yahweh Shai.
Name Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. For the blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushua.
Hashem Yahweh.
Baraklanah.
Rakhanah.
Wayashala.
Yahshua.
Wabiyah.
Abayah.
Pari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Barapa'ah.
Ah.
A gun.
Gun.
A gun.
Gun.
Say the name of the Lord once, every one piece of name once.
For time's sake, all of Israel.
All of Israel.
Israelite School, UPK.
Israelite School UBK.
ISK Minnesota.
SBK Minnesota.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. All of Israel.
All of Israel.
All of ICBK.
All of ISK. All of Israel.
Bashim Yahushua.
Hashem Yahweh.
The water Amat.
What I'm. Bless Israel in English. Lord, name Yahweh Shai.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
Bless Hill, shield, protect.
Bless your shield, protect.
Loved ones.
Love us.
Name Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahai.
Alahai.
Al-Damiyah.
Alahai.
Lakar.
Altakarash. Altasquat. All. Kanahana.
Oyabika.
Yabika.
Ham. Yawan. Raash. Alimaka. Yaryoma. Sawada. Wayata. Yatazawa. Altazawapanka. Marwa. Kawa. Wanakidam. Galia. Malaa. Yasakar. Sham. Yasha'ala. Iwala. Kaya. Natazawa. Baba. Yakadwa. Aliyaka. Barya. Yakarafla. Alia. Alawam. Wa. Yashamai. Aliyam. Mu'aba. Wagaria. Ball. Waimalat. Alasha. Ain. Yashabi. That's a boy. Yam. Ashwa. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarwa. Abanya. Awat. Sila. Ashab. Laham. Kamadi. Asiyasura. Hayabi. Anakaol. Kayashma. Nashamadwa. Bayanda. Hayawa. Daman. Dama. Shabtamo. Nada. Ya. Mawa. Kayara. Wakazaba. Wakatazal. Manai. Call. Nasayakamba. Ashar. Marwa. Narasha. Nawa. Nawaf. Alahaya. Alaya. Shabtamo. Galka. Quash. Apanya. Waka'a. Ash. Dayabara. Yara. Wakalahaba. Dalahat. Hari. Khan. Darda. Basiraka. Wabasa. Upafta. Dabalahom. Malaa. Panyahom. Dalaman. Wayabakashwa. Ka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Wayaba Awa. Aida. Wayakapawa. Wayabadwa. Wayadawa. Kayata. Ka. Yahawa. Baka. Aliyawan. Call.
Kaharataza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence. O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still. O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee. I lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden one. They have said, Come, let's cut them off of being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. But they have consulted together one consent. They have confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. The Garians. The Baal. Ammon. Amalek. The Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Unto them as to the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. And became as done for the earth. Make the nobles like Oreb. And like Zeed. Yea. Are the princes at Zebah. And at Zamun. Who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. Oh my God. Make it like a wheel. And so before the wind. As fire burneth the wood. As flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute thy temples. Make them afraid with thy storm. Put the face with shame. And they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let it be confounded in trouble. Forever. Yea. Let it be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. All things living. Yahweh. Name Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. So he was a curse. Punishment, destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Like prophets. Teachers. Princes. Priests. Israelite brothers. In the school. So he was a curse. Punishment, destruction. to the heathen,
and
and shake loose
shake
the
loose
treasure of the rich of
the treasure
Israel,
of the rich of Israel.
that refuse to give to the school,
Refuse to give to the school.
force the riches
Force the riches
into thy
into
sanctuary,
thy sanctuary.
seems the
To
curses,
use the curse.
punishment, destruction
Punishment, destruction
to Edomites,
to the
and
Edomites,
the nations,
to the nation,
and the drug
the
dealers,
drug
the
dealers,
court system,
court system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our
all the
enemies,
governments of our enemies,
and relaxing the God's
and
army,
raising the God of army.
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux
Ku
Klan,
Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Oscomatods, gay people,
gay movement,
lesbian,
lesbian,
spies,
spies,
went to witchcraft,
orders of witchcraft,
space
and
program,
space program,
Army,
army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet,
open up the internet,
and the airways,
and the airwaves,
cable access channels,
cable access
and
channels,
radio
and the
channels,
radio channels.
convict the spirit of unite people,
The biggest spirit we need our
that
people
seek to stop us,
seek to stop
that
us,
brings forth destruction
bring social destruction
to all the heathen,
to all the
that
people.
stand in the way,
Stand in the way,
that try to stop
try to
us,
stop
to
us,
broadcast your words
broadcasting the words
throughout the planet Earth,
throughout the planet Earth,
and lose all the
and
players,
lose all the players.
cause them to go to and fro,
Cause them to go to and fro,
to the earth and consume
to the
them.
earth and consume
Let
them.
the place shake the house of the thief
Let the place shake the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
May you have a
We
shot.
have a shot.
Michael Gabriel,
And Gabriel,
down flying
down
sauce,
flying saucers,
punish all the heathen
punish all the heathen
that come up against us.
that come up against
As we
us.
speak thy word,
Speak thy word,
cause we know by all.
because we know by all
That it is the angel that
that
done it.
it's the angels that have done it.
Cause it spread to the
Because
media
we spread to the media
throughout the whole
throughout
world.
the whole world.
Cause them to check out that
Cause them
coming.
to shake it, check it that
Name me
time.
how we shine.
And your shot,
Thank you always.
thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So.
Sorry.
One time. All right, with that being said, that concludes Memorial blowing the trumpets. All right, shalom.